Put the C in the ouch and the ing in the couch, and we got couching with Koel. Some become entertainers because they like to be the center of attention. Others because they have something to say. And some, like Dibakar Banerjee and Sushant Singh Rajput, because they find it easier to express themselves through their art form rather than their own words. They both come from loving families and have been super achievers who have broken away from the expected to do something unexpected. Both dropped out of prestigious colleges and have proven that you don't have to be an insider to make films in your own way. Welcome!
That was those parallels were quite interesting. We never thought those up.
You know, while I was researching you, you're both, like, I know you a bit, I don't know you at all, but the similarities were fascinating.
Achha.
The fact that you both sort of have spent time in Delhi, that you went to college, you dropped out.
Both of us are good looking.
Both of us super looking. Both of you have also said at some point, differently in your own words, that Bollywood thrives on mediocrity and nepotism. And both of you, both of you have said it in, both of you have said it in different words. I'm just using the nepotism and the mediocrity. And both of you are striving to rise above it. Now, does that make you outsiders and outcasts, or does it make you pioneers? How are you treated in the industry?
This is the only way I've worked since last 8 years. You know, I was in an engineering college in Delhi. And very soon I realized, okay, this is something that I want to do for the rest of my life. I started with dancing, and then I got into theater. And I mean, like this thing of expressing myself, that I had never done it till then. And then watching all these strangers getting affected by what I was doing and trying to pretend was very fascinating. So I thought, okay, this is something that I want to do for the rest of my life.
So in the end, it was about the attention you were getting, because it was the fascination of the strange.
Of course it was.
Sort of,
that's always there. But then I think the first step has to do with, you know, this fascination to explore something that you don't know of.
What was the part that made it almost addictive, that you went, okay, fine, enough. Engineering, I'm ready to give it up, and here it is. I think
it has to do with the way I was brought up. You know, I was so shy, so introvert, that I found I am so shy.
He's trying. Come on, Dibakar, give him a break. He's trying for you.
Yeah, of course.
Give him a round of applause. Just for trying.
It was always very difficult for me to express myself, you know. And the first time when I was doing my first play in my first semester of my college was when I realized that I can hide behind all these interesting characters. I can say things that I always wanted to say, and people will get affected by it.
And for you, are you now coming from where you're coming from, where you know, you had to wait a couple of years before Khosla Ka Khosla saw the light of day? By the way, fully completed film that just sat there and then sort of took the country by storm. And now you're making a huge period film, which obviously requires big bucks with a big, huge studio. Do you feel like a pioneer?
No, I feel like a fraud, actually. In the sense that I don't see myself any different from what I was 10 years ago as now. And I'm still kind of trying to slip through. So the thing is that I've realized that it's better to try and do things and then get it out and then move on, so that too much of the attention doesn't go on to me, but goes on to the work. And
but this thing,
so that's why I feel like a bit of a fraud.
In all your other films, it's very obvious what you're trying to say. Once you see the film, you know. You've got a real sort of, you've got a hard-hitting point of view. Sometimes it's acerbic, sometimes it's satirical. What are you trying to say with Byomkesh? Is it just entertainment? Is this one of your less pointed films?
I think the less pointed you are, the more effective you get. Byomkesh is actually a yarn. The spirit behind Byomkesh is that when you see the film, you should feel the same. I'll give an example. When my little daughter of 5, when she sees Paddington Bear, her expression is like this. and she doesn't move.
No.
Till a scary scene comes and she goes to her mama's lap and then she sits there. When I'm telling a story and when I've caught her attention, she looks like this. You know?
And that's when you know you're on a winner.
And that's when I know that I have her. So when I used to read Byomkesh Bakshy, I know, I mean, I must have, because there were 30 stories and I must have swallowed them up, you know, and not getting up. And I still remember, I was famous when I was a kid not to get up and come to the meal time for my lunch or my dinner because I was reading. And then they will physically drag me to the table and I'll have the book with me. And I was famous.
This is at what age?
From about age of 5, 6 to all the way to my teens, whatever.
With Byomkesh,
No,
but
no,
he's
with
quite
books,
sensual.
with books.
Yeah, I
With
was like...
Byomkesh, we were told not to read, so I
Yeah.
immediately went and read it when I was 12.
Of course.
So, sorry?
You were told not to read it.
Yeah, Byomkesh was, in every Bengali household, there's a set of Byomkesh books, and you're shown that, it's within your reach, and then you're told, don't read it now, read it after you're 14. Bam! There you go for that.
Dibakar said about you that the reason he cast you in the film is because that you have this quality of being able to underplay, underact in dramatic scene after dramatic scene. I find this fascinating coming from a TV world because those are like 18-hour shifts, 18-hour days.
Yeah.
You get the scene like 1 second before, acha ab ye karo.
Right.
Everything is like doom, doom, doom. Did you get it? Did you not get it? How have you arrived at this
Actually,
point?
even I want to know about that. We never.
I think that was precisely the reason you told me that you can think that I can pull it off, just because if I can underplay to that level on a TV show is why I can play it in a film.
But how? How did you do it?
How is it possible?
ये मैंने भी नहीं.
I think it's possible because I didn't start with TV. I started with theatres. And I did theatre for 5 years. And I feel, and I want to confess right now, we have this prejudice, we have this perception against all the TV technicians and actors that they are not very efficient. Let me tell you, it's just because of the content is why we are perceived the way we are.
I think it's very efficient. They do daily soaps,
exactly,
over efficient.
Exactly. So they can cram all those lines. They can. They are able to convince you of something they are not in that 30 minutes and still garner TRPs. I think it's a wonderful talent to have.
But thank you for that advert on TV soaps. But you tell us, how did you manage to do subtle underplayed acting in that very pressure cooker environment of TV?
I was trying my best, and that's why I was thrown out after 2 years.
You were thrown out?
I mean, like for the first few months, they were figuring out this guy doesn't act.
अच्छा.
Let's
ये तो कुछ करता ही नहीं है.
We need to be able to
He doesn't
see
do
it.
anything.
Yeah.
को पता ही नहीं है.
But Dibakar, he did answer it. He said that it was his theatre background that held him in good stead. Now, for all the students who are here from Whistling Woods and other audience members, I'd love to know that point that you gave up engineering, you came here, you're in Prithvi. This is, I presume, a few months or a few years later.
Yes.
You're acting, you're in the heart of it, right? You feel like this is where it's happening.
Yes.
What was the most exhilarating point at that point, and what was the most exhausting, difficult thing at that point?
I think the most interesting thing that I can think of was not the theatre show, but the dance performance that I was supposed to do. This was the first time when I got to realize that even without saying anything, you can actually communicate something.
It's
You
also
don't-
because you're very easy on the eyes. I mean, let's not discount that.
Thank you.
She just demolished all your talent.
All your performance, everything.
So
I'm safe. Nobody can say that to me. You should have been ugly, man. I mean, then people would say, what a great actor.
Those days are gone now, okay? Those days are gone.
So I feel that was the first thing. I realized that you don't need dialogues, you don't need to say anything to actually convey emotions. And the most struggling time was when I was doing the first show in Prithvi, where Nadira ji was performing with Ashish Vidyarthi, and I was there. And there were no dialogues in that scene for me, and they were interacting with each other, and I was supposed to stand. So I didn't know what to do.
You were a tree.
So I was just there. As I didn't know what to do. So I didn't know what to do with my hands. I was looking at everybody, and then doing some Shah Rukh thing in between, but then
He does a great imitation of Shah Rukh.
Come on, let's see it. What
He
were
did
you
it on
doing
the
in
Shah
that
Rukh
moment?
show as well.
Yeah. Wait. I have better than that. So,
Alright.
I know you do a great imitation of Shah Rukh. I'm sure you have some favorite lines. These are mine.
Alright.
You can choose your own or from this. You're going to do it first as Shah Rukh, like quintessential Shah Rukh, and then you're going to do it as Byomkesh Bakshy. And if you need some props, I have.
can I stand and do it?
Of course!
All right, thank you. एक टीम में एक ही गुंडा होता है और इस टीम का गुंडा मैं हूं. This was Shah Rukh. I'll slightly do it again. I'm like in a different way. एक टीम में एक ही गुंडा होता है और इस टीम का गुंडा मैं हूं. एक टीम में एक ही गुंडा होता है और इस टीम का गुंडा मैं हूं.
So, Byomkesh doesn't have an accent.
No, he doesn't.
That was Byomkesh, right?
course, this was-
Or that was just Sushant?
This was Byomkesh.
Okay. Why doesn't he have an accent? Should he answer this or should...
Anyone.
Okay, does anyone want to answer this?
I'll answer it. It's, I think I was very fascinated by the idea of working on an accent and then coming up with something that's interesting.
That's
that
the actor in
He
you.
wanted to
Like,
say,
yeah, I want to
say
show off.
Shakti. He wanted to say Shakti in
No,
the film.
I'm like,
So it was a creative choice that you took.
Absolutely. When Bengalis speak in Bangla, they are not aware of what they are doing. They are speaking just the way we are speaking English because we are not aware of what we are doing. We're just communicating. And when the whole milieu is Calcutta of 1943, they're all speaking Bengali.
And they're all in the same
They're
accent,
all on the same
language.
accent. Now, if
yeah.
you start putting accents in different people's, in different characters, they'll have different accents, and then they'll start concentrating on the accent. And anyway, what is the accent? You are putting a touch of fake Bengali into Hindi, which in a way is slightly derogatory because all accents are funny. And you make fun of how a person from a different language speaks a different language. And that's the stuff of jokes. I mean, you can do it, but then you'll be just diverting people.
Before we come to playing the little game that I have for you, he said that he cast you also because you were on the cusp of stardom. Is that something you said?
Yeah, I consider he's one of the rising stars.
You looked at me suddenly like, that's not something I said. He couldn't be on the cusp of stardom, could he?
No, I think so. I mean, there are 2 or 3 young actors who probably are going to be the next generation of stars, though I don't believe in the star system, not so much. In the sense that it's not a question of whether I believe it or not, it's definitely there. But for my kind of films, what happens is that I would like the actor to become the character. And once a star becomes a star, he becomes a star because of what he is.
And it's very hard to remove.
And it's almost impossible because very understandably, the moment that actor inside the star wants to go away, it's rejected.
But what happens to you when someone like, you went to Amir to play the villain,
To
right?
play the baddie.
So how do you, how does it make you feel when he says no? Or how do you get on with it? How does it affect you?
It doesn't affect me at all. We realized that Amir was set up to do the baddie in Dhoom 3. So that could have played sort of, some role in Amir deciding. But I definitely think that if Amir had been attracted to the script, he would have told so, because he's that kind of a person who will say upfront that I like this is what's happening, let me come. So I think Amir heard me out, and I think the truth of the situation is that at that point it didn't set him on fire. And why shouldn't any actor, especially a person in Amir Khan's position, do anything that doesn't set him on fire? And that's the truth of it. So films are
That's very honest of you to say, Dibakar.
But that's what happened. Yeah. That's what happened. And it's written here. And the flip side of it is that the baddie we have got
And you haven't, how have you managed to keep him under wraps, right?
Well, it's because you see, everybody who's read the Byomkesh stories and everybody who knows Byomkesh will, in the beginning of the film, guess, oh, this is the baddie, if you know the story, because you read it. But then what we have done with it is something quite interesting. And beyond that, I can guarantee that we truly have somebody who can take on Byomkesh and Sushant.
Oh, he's bringing it back. Okay. Yeah. Somewhere, Byomkesh gets left behind with Sushant or not, since that binary state that happens where, you know, you are sometimes a character, sometimes you. Are you sometimes in real life Byomkesh as well?
It's very abstract. It's very, very abstract. I don't know. There is no logic behind it. There is nothing that I can sit and think, okay, how close I was to Byomkesh in this particular
Well,
shot.
we're going to test it right now. So we have a detective game right now.
All right, let's do it.
I have hidden something.
I wanted to add something that over the shoot of Byomkesh and over my experience at looking at Sushant's images, Byomkesh through the camera, I realized that Sushant has a really dark side to him. He has a dark side to his personality. There is, look at these pictures. Now, see, that's Sushant at promotion mode. Very nice, very sweet. Okay. Now look at that, where he's completely not conscious. He's Byomkesh there. See, between that actor and me, you will see that there is a darkness there. You will see that. Look at that shot. That one.
I see it in this one a lot.
Yes,
in the car.
absolutely.
I see it a lot, and he's going into a zone.
Absolutely.
It's almost a similar picture when Dibakar is saying something to me and I'm listening to it in a completely different way.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So there is something dark in him which makes, for me, Byomkesh extremely fascinating. Because I think a guy who can catch criminals understands crime very well. And if in your mind, you're going through the anatomy, and this should relate to the game, if you're going through the anatomy of crime all the time, you will get addicted to it.
So back to the game, the detective game, right? I have hidden something. Actually, we've all hidden something here. And you have to find it as a detective would. And we're going to give you clue number 1.
Rhymes with the Hindi word for a pearl.
What's the Hindi word for a pearl?
The Hindi word for pearl.
Pearl, okay.
Moti.
Moti. Moti. Rhymes with moti. Okay. So anybody else, or should I just go for it?
Go for it, then we'll give you a clue of where it is.
Like a dhoti?
Yeah, straight from Dibakar.
What did I say?
A little help from my friends.
What did I say? I didn't say anything.
Okay, clue number 2 of where it is.
It's with someone who's the loudest.
The loudest.
Someone who's the loudest.
I hope it's not me because.
You can ask for another clue.
Okay.
Clue number 3.
Clue number 3 is whiplash.
Yeah, but I was looking at him. Where's the dhoti on him?
Clue number 4. We've got a clue number 4.
Sitting on that?
Yeah.
Get him.
We have something called couching classes. Actually, no, today we have so many people, so I don't have to do it. A volunteer, please. Come on.
Come. 89.
Volunteer, you're going to show him how to tie a dhoti. He has his own.
I'm going to show him.
Yeah.
All right.
You've learned, I presume.
Of course.
Yeah.
I know to tie it and open it also. So this is what you need to do. What was that? Tie it like this. Tie it, buddy, tie it.
Okay.
So hold this thing, the right one. Can you please see how effectively I'm doing it? See? How effectively I'm tying the dhoti.
He basically said stop gossiping. Pay attention to him.
So the breadth of it. Yeah, this one. This one. Yeah. So this, take it to your...
Can I help you?
No, I'm done. You can help me open it if you want.
Okay, thanks.
And the other one is this. Go right and left and right and left and shove it in your... Thank you. See?
Truly impressive.
You get to keep the dhoti. Okay, go.
You want this too?
No, it's
All right.
Now, because we had to give you more clues than what was actually required, you have a punishment now.
All right.
And the punishment is actually something you might like. It may not be punishment for you. I know that you love ballet. Music, please. Calcutta Kiss.
You gonna get him into drag?
I'm just getting him into a tutu. The director and him is saying, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I was talking her out of it. So you want me to actually wear
You
this?
do ballet for 4-5 times a week, is that true?
I have just started doing it. I am trained in contemporary form.
That I know, yeah.
But then ballet is something that I'm actually getting a hang of it very recently. So it's just first and second and third and fourth position and a pirouette and all that.
Do we want to see this?
Yes, Calcutta Kiss, Calcutta
So
Kiss.
You can do it with
I think we can do one thing is, can we get a volunteer? I'll teach you how to like pirouette. So,
Come on, girls,
anyway.
this is your chance. If no one else does, I will volunteer.
You can also come. You can be here. I don't have to wear it.
You
right?
don't have to wear it. Give it
Do
to
you
me.
want? Okay. So you can stand here. So this is the first position. Excuse me. This is the second one. Look up, chin up. Like chin up. All right. And you need to slightly plie. And you want to do this. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. See?
I had so much more to ask you, but I think on that pose, please keep standing.
All right.
Or you can do it right here. Right here. What an ending.
Put the C in the ouch and the ing in the couch, and we got couching with Koel.